Hello there. If you like truth, you'll like it here. Welcome. How to support our good sis MELODYSHARI in light of the attacks against her by her ex-demon and his gutter rat baby mama. Full disclosure, I don't know about y'all, but I'm one of those people who, if I am friends with someone or care about them, I won't let you talk trash about them to me. Once you come to know me, you would know that you couldn't even try it around me, let alone to me directly. And if I'm not even willing to hear you talk the trash, I certainly wouldn't be someone who would spread it. To take that a step further, even if I'm not your friend, if I'm your enemy, in fact, I still wouldn't spread trash and mess coming from someone else about you. And that's for two reasons. One, I'm a firm believer that if a person will gossip to you, they will gossip about you. And in fact, they probably already are gossiping about you to someone else. The second reason I wouldn't spread this trash and mess is because it takes going to a level of low to do so. Just test the theory. Take a few minutes and look up some mess and gossip. Then tell it to as many people as you can. And see how you feel. See how your heart feels. Do you feel heavy? Do you feel kind of low energy? Do you feel a bit miserable and sad? Even if the person you told the mess and gossip to was enthusiastic about hearing it, and so you enthusiastically shared it, when you walked away from them and from the conversation, did you feel good? On the inside, did you feel fresh? Or perhaps a little rotten? Here's the thing. For some, they will report feeling just fine. To receive gossip and mess about someone else, to indulge in it, to use it as entertainment, and as a conversation piece is nothing new to them. It is how they operate anyway, so they won't know what the big deal is. They will feel just fine doing it. But for others, it will make them feel some kind of way. Maybe it won't make them feel terrible per se, but it also won't necessarily make them feel good either. Now let's test the inverse of that theory. Let's try it the other way. Take a few minutes and look up some good news. Then tell it to as many people as you can. And see how you feel. See how your heart feels. Does it feel light? Do you feel kind of joyful and happy? Even if the good news doesn't necessarily pertain to you, even if it has nothing to do with you whatsoever, does it still invoke a positive response to share it? When you walk away from sharing it, do you feel good? Do you feel a bit more peaceful on the inside after sharing the news than you did before? Just like with the last experiment, some won't feel anything sharing good news. It won't make them feel good. It won't make them feel happy or sad. It has no effect on them whatsoever. But for the majority of us, what we let into our heads and hearts definitely impacts how we feel on the inside. Generally speaking, if you take in goodness, you feel good. If you take in foolishness and nonsense, your insides reflect that. You feel that on the inside. So why am I saying all this? And what does this have to do with helping our good sis MELODYSHARI navigate this hurtful, hateful space her ex-demon and his mistress and baby mama put her in? Well, when you care about someone, you don't relish in, report on, run towards, or otherwise indulge in information put out about them that's meant to hurt them. That doesn't mean you have to be their guard dog. You don't have to take down the people who are doing it. They will get back what they put out, so they'll be handled. So no, you don't have to go handle it, but you certainly don't have to participate in it. Loyalty is big to me, and no friend of mine or anyone who purports to care about me would dare sit in the company of someone who trashes me or reveals personal information about me. So the first way I think we can support our good sis Melody is to turn away from any news put out by her ex-demon's baby mama. That doesn't mean we have to turn away from any and all information concerning MELODYSHARI unless it's painted in roses. No, we don't have to kiss the ring of anyone. But right is right. And because we know where the information that is coming out is coming from and what its intent is, we know that it is steeped in ill will, lies, and the attempted infliction of pain and embarrassment. Or even just to make a few dollars off her. None of those are okay. And if anyone wants to support her, a way to do so would be to not engage with her ex-demon and his baby mama at all. but especially when they employ these and other harmful tactics. Personally, I say don't engage with them at all. Suppose you call in sick to work, and the next day you learn that a once good friend had revealed to others a secret you had confided in them. In confidence, of course. Now the whole office knows. And even if the secret they shared was embellished or downright false, the office personnel still think they know this information about you. How would you feel? Would you feel betrayed? Well, of course. Now imagine how much worse it would feel if the day you came back into work, everybody was sitting around gossiping about it. Some were passing notes about it in defense of you. Others were passing notes about it laughing at your pain. But almost all were in conversation about it one way or another. How would you feel about that? You'd probably hate it. Now imagine a different scenario where after that once good friend revealed that secret to others, the others chose not to partake in it. It went in one ear and out of the other, such that the next day when you came into work, it was never even mentioned to you. How much better would you feel? Sure, you'd still know you were betrayed by the once good friend, but the impact of that betrayal would be lessened by the fact that the others didn't take the bait and run off with the information shared about you. I imagine the pain would be severely lessened by that fact. This was a hypothetical scenario, completely made up, but we can provide the end result by simply not engaging in the attacks leveraged against Melody by her ex-demon and his baby mama. We know what they're there for. We know their purpose. So let's choose to not play along. I once knew a busybody. This was a person who loved spreading others' information as soon as it happened. I remember a person we both knew had been arrested. The busybody called me at 7 in the morning to tell me the news, even going so far as to send news articles referencing it. Now, never mind the fact that I hadn't heard from nor about the person they were reporting on in at least a decade. But they were nevertheless intent on providing me every detail. I told the busybody that I hadn't heard from or about the person they were reporting on in many, many years, but that I wished them well and hoped things worked out. The busybody quickly got off the phone with me. Another person the busybody and I knew died. They called me to tell me that in that deceased person's camera were salacious images. I asked them why they were putting that out there and dishonoring the deceased person's memory. After all, who needed to know that? So they quickly mumbled something and scrambled off the phone. Another time, another person passed away after having lived a long, peaceful life. The person's body wasn't yet cold when they called me to tell me the person had passed. As a matter of fact, they called so fast to tell me that they beat out that person's closest relatives. I asked the person calling me, literally while I was out of the country. I was in Rome, Italy at the time. But I asked them why they were calling to tell me instead of that person's relatives, when the busybody hadn't even seen the person they were calling to report on in several years. I reminded the busybody that they only seemed to reach out when they had bad news, to share about someone else. The busybody mumbled an excuse, accused me of being difficult, which I never quite understood, then we got off the phone. That person, after seeing that they wouldn't get the response that they wanted, someone to talk about other people's business with, then stopped calling me altogether. And I'm happy to report that I haven't heard from them in many years at this point. In other words, misery loves company. It needs company to feed off. Think about it. Who wants to be miserable alone? Don't the miserable people you know always seem to delight in the bad news of others? Don't they always seem to have some bad news from somewhere about someone to share with you? Don't give them the vehicle. Let it in one ear and out of the other. Or don't let it in at all if you can help it. And us doing that, not letting in nor spreading the private information about MELODYSHARI exposed by her ex and his baby mama, or even by the content creator who has made this her forte, would go a long way in supporting our good sis, MELODYSHARI. But not just her. We can do the same thing for anyone in our lives by not involving ourselves in nonsense spread about them, and instead by helping and encouraging them when and where we can. It is what I would want those who love and or care about me to do. So it is what I do for those I love and care about. and even for those I don't. All right, y'all. That's it, and that's all. Hello there. If you like truth, you'll like it here. Welcome. If you don't, or if you believe in groupthink or bullying others into believing the popular opinion, then this isn't the place for you. So go ahead and just cancel me now. On this channel, we don't discuss my truth or your truth. We discuss the truth, and no topic is off limits. So, log in, like, subscribe, get comfy, and comment. It's nice to have you here. So let's talk.